Okay, so now we know something about what robots can sense. What can they do? If you want to be super geeky, you should say that the robot uses its effectors or its output devices to do stuff. But that's just a really fancy way of saying that the robot has some special parts that allow it to do things like move or make a sound. Let's look at the special parts that come with your robot. The motors are probably the most important. You get 3 of these in your kit, 2 of these large motors and 1 medium motor. Most of the time, you'll probably just use the 2 large motors to power 2 wheels on a robot, but occasionally you may find this 3rd motor useful. The red part of these motors can spin round forwards and backwards. When you write a program to control the motors, you can specify both the direction and the speed of their rotation. If you connect this red part to a wheel, and then the robot tells the motor to move, presto, your wheel moves. This big white box is what LEGO calls the EV3 Intelligent Brick, though I'll mostly refer to it just as the EV3 Brick. It's actually the most important part of your kit, and we'll talk a lot more about it in a minute, as well as in subsequent lessons. On the EV3 Brick, there's a small screen, and the robot can display pictures and words on this screen. The brick also has a built-in speaker, and the robot can play pre-recorded sounds as well as musical notes through its speaker. As I said before, this EV3 Brick is the most important part of your kit. It's essentially a small computer and is really the brains of your robot. You'll plug your sensors and motors into it, and then you can write programs that sense things, or do things, or both. On the bottom side of the brick, you'll find these 4 sockets numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are called the sensor ports. You'll use some cables that look a lot like telephone cables to connect your different sensors into these sockets. Up on the top of the brick, there's 4 more sockets labeled A, B, C, and D. You'll use the same cables to connect your motors into these sockets that are called the motor ports. Up on top, you'll also find a socket labeled PC. You'll connect the EV3 Brick to your computer using the USB cable that comes with your kit. By the way, you won't break your robot if you plug a sensor into a motor port or a motor into a sensor port by mistake, or by writing a weird program. If you do plug something in wrong, your program probably will not work the way you want it to, but nothing will be broken.